What's up, YouTube? I have another deck profile here for you. This one's going to be a little different, though. This is actually not a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. I am actually a retired Magic the Gathering player. I'm been such a big fan of it. It's actually the game that I went to after the first time I quit playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I got really big into it. I started going to a lot of locals and tapping those a lot. But I got rid of everything but this one deck. This is the one deck I have, and as you can see, this is obviously more than the 60 cards that you'd normally have. This is my EDH, or what some people now call a Commander deck, is the recognized name for it, which is really awesome, the fact that it has a recognized format. But this is going to be a long video, so kind of bear with me, but this is my best and my favorite deck of all of EDH, and we'll go ahead and get into the General, or Commander, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, I play Kaalia the Vast. No, I can't afford the $80 foil version. But Kaalia the Vast is amazing. Whenever she attacks an opponent, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon creature card from my hand into the battlefield tapped and attacking that opponent. So it's really good. The only problem is she is a 4-drop for a 2/2 flyer, which, yeah, she has the evasion of flying, but the 2/2 really, really sucks. But we'll go ahead and just put her right over here in the corner. Kaalia the Vast. And we'll go ahead and get started with the basic lands. I don't run a lot of basic lands. I run 4 plains, 4 swamps, and then 2 mountains. That's it for basic lands. I know for an EDH deck that seems like not a lot, but I have a lot of non-basic lands that are color setting, and a lot of artifacts that give me the colors that I need as well. So I think that was 10 basic lands. I do play the Urborg and Cabal Coffers combo, which is really well. It does give me a lot of black mana, which black isn't really a strong color in the deck, but it does give me a lot of mana if I really, really need it out of one land. So I can turn this into 14 mana if I really need to late game. Usually the deck doesn't survive into late game. As cocky as that sounds, it really doesn't. I do play the Opal Palace and the Command Tower. The reason why I play Opal Palace is because it gives the +1/+1 counters, and she's only a 2/2. So if they happen to kill her, which they need to do as quickly as they can, then it gives you the 2/2, or gives you the counters to keep her alive. Because like I said, she's not very strong. I do play the Basura, because it copies any of your lands. You copy your Command Tower, you know, things like that. Or copy their Command Tower if you don't have yours. Pretty much Soul Ring, a Soul Ring land. Temple of False God. Mystifying Maze to protect yourself from attacks. Really, that's just about it. I know it's a colorless, which kind of sucks because you do need your colors, but it does protect you. It does protect your Kaalia. Strip Mine, because I don't like your stuff, and I don't want you having Command Tower. I don't want you having Strip Mine. I don't want you having your Urborg. So I don't want you guys to have any of that stuff, so I'm going to stop it. Pechuga, I love this card. I was such a big fan of World Wake and Zendikar. It's really when I started getting really, really big into the game. And where I seen Pechuga, I was like, that card's amazing. Like, I'm just going to banish your whole graveyard just for playing a land? Like, that card's fantastic. So, and it is a black, which is too bad. Reliquary Tower, which is awesome because infinite hand size is amazing. And then Vault of the Archangel. I like this because I can pay 4, and then all creatures I control gain Death Touch and Lifelink until the end of the turn. And it does give me 1 colorless. I like that aspect because it makes the big beats so much more painful. And then these, which I just got today, the Temples. This is the only cards I have from the new set. I will probably be adding this deck in the near future, obviously. But obviously scrying is really, really important because I want to play Kaalia as quickly as I can. I want to protect her as quickly as I can. And I'll show you some of the cards that do that later. And then the Buddy Lands here. Enters the battlefield unless you control a mountain or swamp, unless you control a plains or swamp. I don't have the other one, which is white-red, because red really isn't an important color, but black is. So I really want to do black because a lot of my stuff requires more than 1 black. Or not a lot, but a lot of my tutors require black, and those are important. And then 1 Blackleaf Cliffs, because, like I said, I only run 2 mountains. So the lands that I do produce that produce red, I want them to produce more than just red. I want to have options. I really, really like options. The 2 fetch lands, because I don't have the black-red one, because it's only been printed once, I think. So I just don't have it. And then 1 of each pain land, or the shock land, whatever you want to call them. Because this and this is amazing. This. Both of these could grab any of these, which is fantastic. So, that's it for the lands. I don't know how many it is. You can count it if you want, but we'll go ahead and start getting into the spells. These I call my board wipes, my globals, Damnation, Wrath of God, I don't play Day of Judgment. I don't know why. I think it's just because Wrath of God's got a cooler artwork and matches the Damnation. Plague Wind, because its card is amazing, destroys all creatures you don't control. So in multiplayer games, it destroys everything. And with Urborg, it's amazing. And then Akroma's Vengeance, I could cycle it if I need to draw a card. So, and this just blows up everything. It's Akroma's Vengeance. It's amazing. And then we'll get into the spells. Just some random spells. Master of Warcraft, because I am attacking a lot and I want to be able to choose blockers and things like that. Dawn Charm, because this card saves games, prevents combat damage, and spells that target me, which is really the big one. Or I can regenerate a creature, which doesn't matter. But the protection from targeting spells, which is amazing. And Prone Fade Command, which, I mean, if you don't know what this does, you should probably look it up because this card is freaking amazing. Bringing creatures back and blowing stuff up is really good. Options. I like options. Oblivion Ring, because Oblivion Ring rules still. Splinter Twin, and Angelic Destiny for the... these are the Aura enchantments. That's just a regular enchantment, but it might as well be an Aura. But this card's amazing. +4/+4, flying, first strike, and is an angel. And then whenever that creature dies, you can put this back in your hand. So it just makes Kaalia that much bigger. And I do play some creatures. I think I have 3 non-flying creatures, so that kind of makes that even better. And then Splinter Twin, which is amazing because I'll show you some combos with this. I'm going to set that off to the side. Some things you can do with that later. Luminarch Ascension for the enchantments. We'll start off with the enchantments next. Because Luminarch Ascension rules because it's giving me tokens to chump block my Kaalia the Vast. And it's only a 2-drop, and it's amazing. So it's just, if I play this, if I open this early game and I just sit behind it and I start getting the counters on it, then I'm doing alright. Stranglehold, because I don't want you to search. Point blank, I don't want you to search. And if you gain an extra turn, I gain an extra turn instead. So, and possibly the best enchantment ever made, land tax. If an opponent controls, or at the beginning of the upkeep, if an opponent controls more lands than I do, I can search my library for up to 3 basic land cards and put them in my hand. So it's pretty good. And then Debtor's Nail. I know it's a lot. It's like a 7-drop, but just having the ability to Monster Reborn more or less cards from my graveyard is amazing at the beginning of my upkeep. And it's in a graveyard, so it's any graveyard. I could bring stuff in your graveyard back, stuff in my graveyard back. It's amazing. I'm pretty sure it's a graveyard. Yeah, just any graveyard. And then my quote-unquote revival spells, Beacon of Unrest, and then Unburial Rites. There are artifact players, so I want to be able to steal like your Darksteel Forge just so you can't have it. And it's really good. And then Unburial Rites, which this card's really good. I remember this card came out, and I was kind of still just collecting at that point in time. I was still buying stuff and collecting. And 5 for a Reborn, and then 3 to flashback for a Reborn is really good. We'll get into the artifacts, and we'll start off with the equipments first. One of each of the Phyrexian swords, because I don't have the original Mirrodin swords. So these guys are really good. Like I said, I was collecting really big at that time, and I just happened to still hold on to these when I got rid of all my stuff. So those 3. I do play the Swiftfoot Boots, because it's more or less a Lightning Greaves, and Lightning Greaves, because this card in Kaalia, opening turn, is amazing. I have open turns with, like, Soul Ring, Lightning Greaves, 2 or 3 lands, and then, Sensei's Divining Top, so that was amazing. Darksteel Plate to protect your Kaalia if you don't happen to get Lightning Greaves, and then Sunforger, because the card's amazing. So, +4/+0 automatically. It is a 3-drop, 3 equip, so... But you can unattach this for a red and a white. Search your library for a red or white instant card with converted mana cost of 4 or less, and then you can play that card without playing its casting cost. So it's pretty good. Those are the equipments, and then just some regular artifacts. Chroma's Memorial. Yeah, it is a big, heavy one, but like I said, I do have the Urborg and Coffers combo, so I can get that off pretty easily. Sensei's Divining Top, because this card's amazing, point blank. Just digging is just optimal. And then from my mana setters artifacts, I do play the one Ingot, because Ingot's amazing. There's another one that just came out. I don't remember what it's called, but all land you control tap to add any color, and then it taps to add any color. I need to get one of those. Soul Ring, because Soul Ring rules. Mox Diamond, Mox Opal, because I do have quite a few artifacts, and like I said, if I I have opened Opal and Soul Ring before, and Divining Top, which seems kind of like unfair, but I mean, games like that do happen, and you really can't pass up that kind of hand. And then my tutors. BC's Queen, because depending on how much land you have, you can pretty much grab anything. It's great late game. Enlightened Tutor to grab your artifacts and enchantments, so that's really good if you open this up in just any white land. Even a plains, you can grab your Divining Top. You can grab anything, really. It puts it on the top of the library, but either way. Demonic Tutor is the best tutor. Just black and a colorless, grab a card, point blank. And it's the alternate artwork one, so it's my favorite. Vampiric Tutor. Pay 2 life, put a card on top of your library. Pretty basic. Diabolic Intent. Sacrifice a creature, grab a card for 1 and a black. And then Diabolic Tutor. It's twice as much as Demonic Tutor, but it does the same thing, which kind of sucks. But I love the artwork to this card, and I want to get my key pieces. That's why I play so many tutors. Just grab all my key pieces. And then I think, yeah, the removal spells. Terminate, because Terminate rules. Destroy target creature, can't be generated. Orm's Thunder destroys artifacts and you kick it, you start dealing damage. Mortify, destroy creature enchantment. Path Exile, plowshares. Like, you can see a theme going here. Yeah, they are 1-for-1s, but like I said, protection is key in this deck to keep Kaalia alive. And I also have the Sunforger, so I can start grabbing the instants and start doing crazy stuff. Unmake, removing stuff from play at instant speed is fantastic. Return to Dust, I like to exile stuff. I don't like artifacts or enchantments, because those stuff can get really nasty in Commander or EDH, so you want to get rid of them. Vindicate, because the card's just amazing. It's a 3-drop to destroy any permanent. Artifacts, enchantments, creatures, planeswalkers, your general, their general, whatever you need to do. That's the destruction spells, as I like to call them. And then planeswalkers, Elspeth, obviously. Like I said, this deck's not completely up to date. I will probably be working on it more and give you guys an update here maybe in a month or so. Liliana Vest, Ajani Vengeance, and Sorin of Innistrad. Blowing up lands, keeping stuff tapped. Tutor. Tokens to chump block with. Make my stuff stronger, which is always good. And then, like, the givens. All cards and all graveyards into my control. Indestructible stuff. Blowing lands up. I don't even know what he does, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. He's just there for tokens. For chump blockers. And I play 3 creatures that are non-demon, dragon, or angel. Stoneforge Mystic, because it's busted. It's just point blank busted. I play a lot of artifacts. I can just search them for 1 and a white pretty much and have a blocker. Transcendent Master, because I remember this card came out. It was like the coolest card I've ever seen in my life, because it starts off with 3/3 for 3, which really isn't that bad. And it's 1 colorless to level up. So even if I don't even have a basic land, I have a land that just produces a colorless. I can level it up. Once it's level 6 through 11, it's a 6/6 lifelink. If it's 12 and higher, it's an indestructible 9/9 with lifelink. So it can get pretty scary if they don't do anything about it. And then Shriek Ball, because invoking 1 and a black to destroy a non-black creature is a non-artifact non-black creature is pretty good. And he has Fear if I really want to hardcast him, which I never hardcast him. He's more or less just a target to blow stuff up with. That's really about it. And then the targets for Kaalia the Vast. Gordon Hellkite comes into play, deals 5 damage, divided as you choose. And I only played 2 dragons, by the way. And Oros the Avenger. This was my original general before Kaalia was even a card, before it was even announced it was a thing. I was playing this color scheme because I love this color scheme. Oros is just an amazing card. So those are the dragons. The demons. I only play like 4 demons. Runescarred Demon, Malfagor, Tombstalker, and Persecutor. Persecutor's alright. He is a 4-drop for a 6/6 flyer. And I can't win, they can't lose situation. But there are always ways to get around that, to get rid of him. To blow him up, get him off the board. And he is scary. Like, even if you do start getting them into the negatives, you just keep beating him. Which has happened to me. I've got him down to like negative 20-something. And just because from beating him with Persecutor. Tombstalker, I can delve it into play if I need be. For a 5/5 flyer for, 2 black, which is really good. Malfagor sacrifices stuff, which is amazing because it gets around destruction, which is really good. And then this card. It's a tutor on a fucking stick if you have this. So you play Demon with Twin, and you start tapping it to make copies of himself, and then you get a Runescarred into play that you can block with if need be for next turn, and then you get the search. and then do it next turn, and then you get the search. Do it next turn, and you get the search. Do it next turn, and you get the search. It's just, it's unfair, really, but it's really good. There's those guys. And then the Angels, which I play a ton of. Fire main because it's a 4-drop for a 3/3 flyer, which is really good. It has Battalion. You gain 3 life, and they deal 3 damage, so which is pretty good. Sarah Avenger, it is a 3/3 flyer with Vigilance for 2. And it's a late game pusher. It's really what it is. And it's a chump blocker. Oh, this fucking card. Glesia, or is that how you pronounce it? Gilsia? I don't know. It's just an amazing card. It deals damage. Wow, it's just really good. Red Dawnbringer, Recursion. I love it. I love Recursion. And like I said, I'm not hard casting any of these, by the way, unless it's like Delving Tombstalker into play and Sarah Avenger. Those are about the only 2 I would ever hard cast. So, I mean, there's probably 2 more. Yeah, there's 2 more in here I'll hard cast. I'll show you real quick. I would probably hard cast Emeria Angel because tokens are really good to block with, and then Linvala because Linvala is just unfair. Stops activated abilities. Admonition Angel, if that's how you pronounce it. Oblivion Ring on a stick anytime you landfall. So landfall, Oblivion, landfall, Oblivion, landfall, Oblivion. So it's just amazing. And it is a 6/6 flyer for 6, which all around is already busted. Achroma, Angel of Fury, the red Achroma, because it just wins games, point blank. It's got protection, it's can't be countered, it's got fire breathing, there's just not much you can do about it. Flying, trample, protection from white, protection from blue. Protection from white is really big, and protection from blue is really big, especially, you know, from the guys that I used to play. I don't really play much anymore. Angel of Despair blows up permanents, comes into play. So this with Splinter Twins, just start tapping and blowing stuff. Blowing stuff up. Blowing stuff up. The obvious Baneslayer Angel, because Baneslayer Angel wins games. I would probably hard cast Baneslayer Angel if I had to. And then possibly the card that wins me more games than any other card in the whole deck, and that's Iona. Comes into play, choose a color. They can't cast choose a color. I was playing my good buddy Andy the other day, or it was a couple weeks ago. He plays mono black. I got off Iona, said black, and that was just the end of the game, period. So, and that's the monster lineup, and that's pretty much it. That is my Kaalia the Vast deck. This card's really good. I'm going to go ahead and end the video now because it's really long. But go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more Magic stuff. I had to bust out the old Gravekeeper mat. Or not Gravekeeper, Grave Titan mat. So, yeah, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if you want to see some more Magic stuff and get profiles from some of my buddies at my locals. But thanks for watching.